What is going on, everyone? In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how I turned $62 into $4,000 using a single funded account from My Funded Futures. This is the 50K builder account that I was using. And I'm going to be showing you guys the purchase history, the evaluation trades, the funded trades, and the CSV records to make sure that you guys know everything is legit. So yes, let's get right into it. First of all, we have the evaluation purchase from June 18th. It was a singular builder 50K with 1.5K in drawdown. It says will not renew because I had already passed the account, right? Here is the bank account transaction, $62 from my account, right? So now here is the video of me passing the eval. All right, My Funded Futures just dropped the biggest discount, 50% off on the builder accounts. I'm going to be showing you guys how easy it is to pass these $60 accounts. We have this awesome lotion model 1 minute inversion from the 930 candle. I have a 3-con buy limit at this inversion. Hopefully we can come down, fill our order, and then run up to these highs. So let's see if we can get this here. Okay, I'm in there. Yeah, but I only got filled 1 con. Okay, I'm in the rest. Bang! All right, we're getting another lotion model setup. 30 seconds to these equal lows. I'm gonna be taking it on the break even. And bam, there's another one passed. Okay, so one issue with all of this was I didn't know you could only have one builder at a time. Now I had passed 2 when I already had one. So ignore that. This was the evaluation passed right here. This is the lotion model, which I will be getting into after I show you everything. And if anybody has any questions on this, right? And then after passing the account, this is the first trade that I took. So that was 2.2K, and it was another 30-second to an unfilled 5-minute. This was the second trade. Forgot to record the audio, so threw some ICT over it. Another premium 30-second to internal buy side with really good displacement. We were rejecting from a 5-minute, and we had an SMT at the low. All right, so there's another 2K. The trade of 8 CSV report should be right here. So the first trade was for 2,200. Second trade was for 2,000. And then this first one was a break even. Now we have the third trade. Come on. Hey. Go. This was at home and showed my room and stuff. But anyway, second trade was a $650 day because once I made 2K twice, all you had to do was request the payout, 50% consistency rule. So 2K plus 2K equals 4K, and withdrew that. And the fourth trade was right here. All right, we have the model that everyone hates, a 30-second fair value gap from London session, which I want to take to these equal lows and the London low. Hopefully we don't take it on this candle, please, and just get a good closure. I'm in there. Great fill. Oh my God. Going break even. And I'm out there. Oh yeah, and keep in mind, we won yesterday. All right, again, the CSV reports for those 2 trades are right here. We had one trade, 11 seconds was the one I just showed, and then the trade yesterday, 3 minutes, and 655 plus 650. You have a $40 buffer on the 50% consistency rule. So I took a second 2K payout, and here are the payout certificates. We had the 2,000 from when I went 2,000, 2,000, and then we have the second one when I made 650, 650. So that is all of the proof and everything from how I made that. Now, does anybody have any questions about the model itself? I've made plenty of videos about it, but they are people in chat who might not know what my model is. Thoughts on order flow? don't use it. How do you know when to take the 1 minute or the 30-second if they're in the same place? And if the 30-second inverse is before the 1 minute, which one are you taking? I'm usually taking the 30-second over the 1 minute and just hoping the 1 minute closes at the same time as the 30-second. Where do you place your stop loss? Is that at an area where price is unlikely to return to, or is it only for our? It's I would say 50-50. There's points where I do it for RR purposes, and then there's also points where I do it for if there's a rejection of a fair value gap or something. What's the best way to manage risk for evals and best way for fundeds? It depends. If you have a lot of capital to risk on evals, then I mean, I just full port evals. But the goal is to just risk heavier on trades that you would take on your funded, and then that's how you kind of base it. I'll also go over the trade that I took in PM today. You're streaming on Twitch? No, I'm streaming on Discord. A lot of the trades I've seen before, seen you take a trade for 1-to-1, but is read of getting out at 1-to-1 at the draw on liquidity drag TP for like a 3R. Always place it at a 1-to-1, but usually I will, and I'll hope that price doesn't come up to where it is, because most of the time, if we have a rejection of a 1 minute like this, all right, say if our 1 minute's like right here, and my stop loss is a little bit below it, I expect price not to come right here, right? I also don't expect price to come down here. So it's mainly for our purposes, but I'm also using good stop loss placement, especially if we are like rejecting from a 5 minute, then I'll put it at the 5 minute low. It really just depends on how big the stop loss is, because usually 25 points lines up with most protected stop losses. How do you know when it's a no trade day? There is a lot of conditions that have to be met in order for me to take a trade. And so I don't necessarily look at a day from 9:30 open and I'm like, oh, today's untradeable. The only time I'll do that is if it's like we're in an 800 point range or something, or Asia had such a huge expansion that New York's going to be bad. But every day that I go into the market at 9:30, I have my indicator marking out automatically what I want to see and what's available, right? If I go to replay and I'll go 9:30 and let the indicator do its thing, you guys see what I'm talking about. Right, so as an example, we have London highs, Asia highs, New York PM highs, and we have some equal lows below. Now, ideally, you just watch order flow at market open and say, okay, where are we headed? Today, we are headed up. We have bullish order flow, we have SMT at the low. Ideally, you want to see a pullback or really strong order flow and inverse one of these fair value gaps towards London highs. My mistake earlier was I let there be a lack of displacement and an unfilled 5 minute open up below. And I also didn't pick the closest fair value gap. I kind of picked one that was more so within the range, and I let displacement kind of go, right? So this was kind of a clear sign where it's not necessarily something that I want to see. I want to see candles, huge candles, big candles, inversing, and then going straight to the draw on liquidity. For your funded accounts, do you only target equal highs and equal lows in 5 minute gaps? I use internal buy side and internal sell side a lot. It really just depends on displacement. I will take a setup to an internal high or an internal low as long as we have good displacement and a decent draw on liquidity above, right? So if we were to take this right here, I would like it even just to the internal high, just because we still have London available. Do you think I should get bigger stop losses with Lotion Model because I have gotten stopped out by a few points too many times? Yeah, if you think that that's what you need to do to change in the model and get your profitable edge, then yeah, move your stop loss. Showing, I don't know if you said this already, but where do you put your stop loss and which IFVG do you consider for your entry? So the stop loss is very, I wouldn't say RR based. I would say it's more RR based. Look, like, let's see this. You can see we had like really, really good displacement. It was still super close to 9:30. All right, I forgot there was no audio. But for this, there was really no protected low in a sense that I had my stop loss below. It was just because this was about my like max daily drawdown. And this was the first trade on the funded as well, or I'm sorry, the second trade on the funded, and I was building that buffer, and I really wanted to get up there quickly, and I really like this setup too. Maybe I can pull up some more examples. Even when looking at this is again RR based. This was 3 contracts with the 25-point stop risking 1500, and it's below this swing low, and it'll leave us enough room to tap into the fair value gap again. We didn't end up getting filled, but I know we had another setup that, what the fuck? Did I start like watching my YouTube video? Why did my YouTube video just start playing at the end of this? Bro, on everything we took another setup. Oh yeah. Break even. How do you manage bad stretches of trading? I went 2 weeks in a row getting payouts. Now I keep blowing fundeds after passing them. Well, how are you? If you're passing them, you're just getting what, super unlucky when you get to the funded stage. During AM session, are you looking for IFVGs based off directional bias or discretional as time goes? Definitely both in a weird way. Directional bias helps because if we're getting huge candles to the upside, you're going to want to take longs. And if we get huge candles to the downside, you're going to want to take shorts. But it does get more discretional the like closer you get to like 11 a.m. For those with the Lotion model, it's sometimes a bit hard to mark out a break-even point on trades. How do you judge when to go break-even for a trade that for itself getting break-even way too much? We definitely talked about that. I don't know. I just have been going break-even when it feels right. When I think there's enough displacement, when it takes a important high or low, when it's about to hit TP. Can you give us an example, 5 tips on what makes us stay away from a trade? What makes a trade invalid? Yeah, so I would probably say that's number 1. Number 2 is probably important. What's like 3 more? I'm not totally sure. These are all really important ones. I think this makes a trade invalid. Lack of displacement makes a trade invalid. Everything else makes it less valid. Is there a go-to A+ setup for you? Like you have multiple options, but is there a fave you like to have when taking a trade? Yes, I think an A+ setup would be SMT at the low, great displacement through a 30-second with equal highs above and London highs above. So pretty much this, but backwards. Does an IFVG taking multiple candles to close and barely closing above the gap mean you should likely fade due to lack of displacement? Yes, especially if it's something like, all right, say the fair value gap's all the way back here. Really displacing, like heavily displacing. And then as soon as it barely closes, it like does this and leaves wicks above, but doesn't close above. And then finally it closes above. That for me is just shit. For how many candles do you wait if it didn't inverse first 2 or 3, if you know what I mean? I would say, yeah, 2 or 3. But I've also had points where it goes to the same fair value gap and then rejects and then comes up and has a really good displacing candle that I end up taking. What if there's no 30-second, but there's a 1 minute? Then we would take the 1 minute. But usually if there's a 1 minute, there's a 30-second. Today's PM trade had barely any displacement though. Literally had perfect displacement. What do you mean? Let's go to it real quick. Like the displacement through the IFVG that I took, it couldn't have had better displacement actually. It inversed on the very next candle. That is about as good as of displacement as it can get. No, I'm more so talking about displacement in, let me bring up one. So you see how I have this line marked out? That is our fair value gap on the lower time frame. I'm just on the 5-minute chart. You can see it's pretty much exactly how I had the other one. Right, so if we go back, this is pretty much exactly what it looked like, except it was chopping around and then it came back down and then we had a more great displacement through it. This was perfect. So as long as we didn't take those equal highs, we'll be green. So trading within a little bit of accumulation, but we have great displacement. Looking to see at least these equal highs get taken out. Beautiful. Get a lot of more equal lows and equal highs in the 30-second. Just haven't gotten premium. So no, the equal highs and lows aren't formed on the 30-second. So they're 1 minute equal highs and lows, but it is a 30-second entry. It's not equal highs or lows on the 30-second. It's on the 1 minute. What if we're displacing but price not retraced into any? It's perfectly fine. A lot of the trades recently have also been like using a fair value gap from London session, as crazy as that sounds. But this PM setup was an internal range setup? Yes, but there was equal highs. It was internal range. If you were trading setups that were in here, That would be internal range. But we came down, swept this low on ES, left double equal highs, came up, great displacement, inverse this 1 minute right here, waiting to see this 30-second get inversed. How do you know when to limit and when to market? Yeah, it's based on the close. I have it difficult when to market order and when to limit order. At what point is a better limit? It's all discretionary. I've been trading IFVGs for almost 3 years, so it just I kind of know when to market, know when to limit. If you watch I have over 100 trade recaps on my page. Some are market, some are limit. So I would say just look back at those and just see if there's so much chop within the IFVG. Does it make you not want to trade? It doesn't matter how many times it tested. Is it more so about the displacement through it? Yeah, limit order is more so about RR because you're hoping for a pullback into that to better calculate RR. Like for this one, if I had market ordered all the way up here, sure, it would have played out eventually, but I would have rather had a limit order. That way I can have my risk calculated perfectly. Do setups like these not happen a lot throughout the day, just finding the right moves to take to give me the best probability? I wouldn't say it doesn't happen a lot throughout the day because PM, you have to wait for equalize or equal lows to be created or just have good displacement, and displacement in PM can happen at any time. But in AM, the closer you are to 930, the better probability you have getting that big displacement. Here's what I was talking about earlier, right? So we barely have a candle closure above, and then we have a mediocre candle closure above. Then it's just what am I doing, bro? So yeah, I knew immediately. I was like, knew not to take that. Do you ever take negative RR trades? No, even though this setup is marked out as negative RR. I end up fixing it. See, again, this is one of those things where it did tap into it, but it came down back into the 5-minute IFVG, and then we had a really, really bullish candle above. Damn, did I get like a perfect fucking fill? Oh yeah. That's why it wasn't negative RR, because I got a good fill. I just got one of those legacy 250 counts today. If they're $17, anyone else had them? Well, I'm banned from Apex, so unfortunately, I'm not able to do that. Best account right now, in your opinion, is the 50K Rapid. See, this one was going to be negative, but I had to fix my R. I do everything for the TikTok. I'm literally like trying to not have it be at my break even. All right, there we go. Yes. What's the best way to scale up after your payout? Go all in on one or just one eval at a time? A few payouts on one account, a few payouts on three, a few payouts on five, and then, 5, 10, 15. It's the best way to scale up. What's the IFVG barely in versus like my a point or two? That's fine as long as it has good displacement. It's actually better.
Chills. I mean, fucking chills.
This was all April. Oh wait.
Fuck you, Nasdaq.
Like this is not even internal range, this is fucking trading bullshit. This also fails. Not a proper AMD as it didn't have an internal sweep. No SMT at the high as well. What's the best way to use your capital from payouts and trading to make more money? Just investing in more accounts, especially if you're profitable.
What is going on, guys? Welcome to today's starting session. All right.
See, like look how perfect of a close that was.
Oh my God.
Someone was asking about that earlier. The close, one tick, maybe two. Horrible fill, but
oh my God, I just got the worst fill of all time.
Can't go negative R, so. It's okay. Silly question, but the SMT higher low, does it matter if ES or NAS took the higher low as long as there's an SMT, if this makes sense? Yeah, so opposing bias, I have a thing in the sauce tab about that. I'll send that. Give me 1 second. But it doesn't matter if ES takes the low or the high, as long as NASDAQ has good displacement. God, this is before the lotion model indicator. I need to get my May trades in order, or I need to get my June trades in order. I need to do that because look, I have my April trades and I have my March trades. This will be a nice long YouTube video. All right, everyone. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Went over the model a bunch, answered a bunch of questions, and hopefully you guys realize how easy it is to turn a small amount of capital into a large amount of capital if you have a profitable model. All right, take care.